We are running late, so I'm not going to make my concluding remarks too long. A few weeks ago, I was in Copenhagen, in Europe, and there was this taxi driver. I was going to the airport. So I asked him, what do you think of this country? Now, Copenhagen, as you might know, is a very small country. It's also a very affluent country. So the driver of the car was a Pakistani. He had been settled in Copenhagen for close to 24 years. So when I asked him, what do you think of this country? He slowed the car and said, it's a fantastic country. Later I realized the reason why he was saying it was a fantastic country. He was saying that his children have free education up to whatever level. If he steps into an operation room in a hospital, no matter what his complaint is, the operation would be free. When he is unable to earn money on his own, the government takes care of him. And there is a community shared space in terms of a free housing. So this is not a man who can be easily bribed because he doesn't need money. His basic concerns are taken care of. I'm hoping sometime in the near future, the person on the street will turn around and tell the interrogator, this is a fantastic country, because this country takes care of him. One of the popular words in English discourse in India now, not only popular, probably one of the words which you will not make a spelling mistake is corruption. You RUPTION, you know the spelling very well. I feel that, sometime back here, Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni and Mr. Jabbar Patel were talking about the ethicality, morality of politics, which is a great requirement. And Mr. Patel was talking about the cultural vibrancy as indicating the health of a democracy. A few years ago, I'm sure Mr. Kulkarni knows him very well, a friend of mine, Praful Bidwai, wrote a piece in Times of India talking about the economic value of ethical inputs. And I don't think no one spoke a truer word. If you have been to Delhi, I'm sure some of you people are from Delhi. One man who has actually transformed the urban life of Delhi is a chap called E. Sridharan. He's just an engineer. And he's the guy who actually set up the Delhi metro, which has transformed the city urban life, eased traffic, made life much more enjoyable. And it is not that his engineering capabilities are great. More than that, I would think he was incorruptible. So because of that, he was able to change a whole city's life in about 8 years. Bombay, where I work, there is a monorail, there's a metro being planned for God knows how many years, nothing is happening. My feeling about all these things is that ethicality is something which we can no longer afford to attribute as a characteristic of politicians. A few years ago, we would have thought that if you actually voted, that would be enough to sustain at least the idea of democracy. That's no longer the case. Once you vote, you have to follow it up in terms of vigilantism, in terms of social auditing, all these things you have to do. But I think fundamentally, the real problem is actually the formation of character. I mean, it all comes from there. And I think this huge house where all of you are seated here shows a great sense of character. Look at the discipline with which you have sat through this entire session. Look at the way you not only talk to each other, can listen to the speakers. So I think there's great, bright hope here, thanks to the two illustrious Karats. And I hope that next time I come here, I see this place even more big in terms of his attendance, although that could be a discipline problem for him. Thanks so much. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.